of you. I want to start off that my reason for being here has little to do with the idea of why Islam, but more so the idea of us being humans and the idea of us being one family. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about the importance of us speaking up and the importance of us speaking for the voiceless. Now, I want us to be able to grasp that idea with an example. And I'll start off with a very simple example. Sisters to my left, if you guys don't mind humoring me real quick. You guys have been out here since the morning. What was it that you were chanting? Can you give it to me one time? What was it that you were chanting? Okay, now, young, handsome man right there, you arrived. Yes, you. And what did you say at the top of your lungs?
Free, free Palestine!
And now, sisters, again, please. Young man in the back.
Free, free Palestine!
And I want you to understand that this is what it means when we say it takes one person to speak up and stand up for justice. Because the idea of what this country nowadays wants to push upon all of us is this idea of cancel culture. And the idea that you should be afraid to speak up because the one thing that can unite all of humanity is truth.
Amen.
Because truth doesn't have a race.
Amen.
When you go and look around here today, there is a black brother standing next to a white sister standing next to a brown man, and that very unity is what scares the very politicians that are in power today.
Amen.
As long as we stay and we speak up, there will be change. Now I want to ask you guys to visualize this idea. I hear all the time that people say we can't do anything because the politicians this, the corporations this, they do not let us speak. The very constitutional rights that make us so-called Americans apply to each and every one of you who are citizens. And so when they say freedom of speech, that includes the very thing that we are doing here today.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, sir, in the truck. Now, I want to ask you this. If it is freedom of speech that includes the right to protest, but it doesn't stop there. How many of you guys have taken the chance to write a letter or go to your local politicians and demand change? I want you to raise your hands. And so now look around. Some of us have raised them, some of us have not. That's the small step. I hear that they say that those politicians, they got funding, they've got money, they got all these things that we cannot stop them with. So the very systems and the very ways that they went out and they were able to get power, what stops us? What stops us is the fear that our money will not go anywhere. I had a young woman, I'm using the word young again. She came by and she said to me, how do you know if the money will go to your people in Gaza? How do you know that your words or the money that you send to various people is going to have an impact? Well, Pastor, that's when faith comes into play, isn't it? That's where you just have to know that doing the right thing, as Muslims, we know that this idea of righteousness will always defeat the evil, the wrong. So when you are thinking about where to put your money, do not rely on other people. Rely on yourselves. Who knows? I'm talking to my young brothers and sisters now. And by young, I will clarify, I do mean below 25 and 30, okay? I will be honest this time. I'm talking to you because you're me. I'm talking to you because at one point in my life, I said, why should I talk about Palestine? Why should I talk about Islam? Nowadays, I realize that if we don't change, our parents and our grandparents, well, they're on the way out. That's the reality of it. And if you don't take a stand, and if you don't make a change, then that very thing that many of them here are doing will die on deaf ears. So speak up, take advantage. You are young, you have energy, make the change that you want to see. Now I want to talk to everybody here together as a community. This is a protest. Tomorrow there will be something that happens and they will say to us that they represent the children of evil, of darkness. But the one thing that will continue to guide you through all of that is the very faith of the people of Palestine, is their iman, is the idea that there is righteousness, that there is good because we are all creation from God itself. I want to end on a very, very quick note. I want to look at each and every one of you guys. For me, when I started doing dawah, I thought the idea of doing it was because, well, you know, we should speak up and we should talk about what Islam actually represents. But then the past few years, I've realized it means something more. Because those children in Gaza, did they have a right to speak up when they were bombed? Did those people in Gaza, did they have the opportunity to write to their politicians? Did those people in Gaza have the freedom to be able to choose the life that they lived? Yet here in America you do. And if you want to see the impact of that very thing, there are amazing men in blue today who have taken their Saturdays to come and ensure civil peace while we organize this protest. That is the power of your citizens' rights being put to work using your taxpayer money effectively. Do not fret. Change will happen. It is a long fight. Yes, it's happened for hundreds of thousands of years. But if we want to be able to see that change occur, it starts with each and every one of us. So inshallah, I want to kick it over to the organizer once more.